IVC, it's Alan here. I'm going to run through some of what I've got from the charity shops over the last few weeks. This is just some of it. This is by no means all of it. Most of this cost £1 or less. A couple were £3. Right, let's go. It's all killer, no filler. Just to use one of our favourite phrases. Joy Division, Unknown Pleasures. Not the original, almost. The first repress with a straight edged inner. I have the original translucent red. Great find, superb album, superb condition. At the same time I picked up Peel Sessions. Don't see it very often. In fact, I've never seen it. Peel Sessions. This is the limited edition sleeve. Great tracks on there, of course. Level Terrace Apart, 24 Hours, Colony, Sound of Music. Lovely copy of Substance, first press. Wonderful album. Slightly different version of She's Lost Control, different mix on there. Great stuff. That is superb. At the same time, the shop also had all the original Smiths albums. I'm just going to fling them up. Meat is Murder, Strange Ways, Here We Come, The World Won't Listen, first album, and an 80s repress of Hatful of Hollow. Now, I've never been a huge Smiths fan. I've never really kind of considered them to be worth my time. I never really liked them back in the day. But nowadays, you know, I'm a little bit more open-minded perhaps, and listening to them I just thought, wow, the music and the musicianship is brilliant. The guitar is fantastic. I always knew he was a good lyricist. His voice used to get on my nerves, not anymore. I think, wow, I get it now. I see why everyone says how good they are. Glad to found them. This is Steve Kilby's Earthed. This came in I went into a charity shop, and they actually had a load of sort of library and Windham Hill and different things come in. I bought 40 albums for 50p each. This was one of them. This guy is Steve Kilby from The Church. Fabulous band, of course. This is a solo album. 20 instrumentals. It's on compact disc quality phonograph records from Ryko. Direct metal mastering, gatefold record jacket, anti-static Japanese rice paper inner sleeve. Wonderful album, 20 instrumentals. He released a book of poetry at the time, and each one of these corresponds to the poems. Unfortunately, that's almost impossible to locate, and also it would have been better if he'd have included it with the LP. But it's a wonderful album, this. Much better than the Dirty Column and bands like that. This is how to do an instrumental album. Great stuff. I mean, as you'd expect from someone in the church. £1.50. Couple of stains which should come off. Your Skin Alley. This is an original UK. A rare album. Prog. And a great album. Not a 5-star album, but definitely 3.5 to 4. To all you masters of prog, this is a great find, and definitely worth checking out. Now, these records are going to be all over the shop. Some of you are going to go, oh, who cares? Some of you are going to go, huh? What do you buy that for? And some of you are going to go, hey, that's my kind of stuff. This is Arne Nordheim, a composer, Norwegian composer. This is his first record in the UK, I believe. Contemporary music from Norway. This is electronic, modern compositions. Bottom needs tape sticking back together, some glue on the seam. This is a hard record to find. To find it in a charity shop for 50p was very nice, and this came amongst a collection of kind of similar stuff, a lot of modern and minimal music, Philip Glass and stuff like that. I'm just showing bits of things that I've found over the last few weeks. Great stuff. It's worth checking out his album of a compilation called Electric. It was released a few years ago on CD. Nice orange and black cover, striking. They've just re-released it on vinyl, but it's, get it on CD, it's fine. Wonderful stuff. From that to this is more oi. There's no future, there is only oi. This is no history of no future records of Partisans, People in the Test Tube Babies, Red Alert, bands like that. Great stuff, didn't have that one. Norman Connors. This came in it was in a collection. Right place, right time again, of jazz fusion and stuff like that. Some great stuff, Eddie Henderson, Lonnie Smith, different things. This was amongst it. Superb record, Dark of Light. And a completely different occasion, a different shop. Dance of Magic. Norman Connors with the worst album cover you've ever seen in your life. Well, it's not the worst, believe me, I've got worse, but that is bad. Great lineup. Don't be put off by the cover on this. This is superb. This track, Dance of Magic alone, is absolutely superb. It's fusion, heavy funk soul. I'm using all the words, but you know what I'm talking about. Wonderful stuff. The Red Tent, Ennio Morricone soundtrack. Not everyone's cup of tea soundtracks, but I actually quite like them sometimes. Some are a little bit blasé, whatever. This is really quite exceptional. Side one is the usual kind of soundtrack fare, if you like. The side two is Others Who Will Follow Us. A superb 22-minute piece conjuring up what it's actually like to be stranded in the Antarctic. The first 5 minutes is like winds, and it sounds like a wind blowing across through the speakers and stuff. Wonderful. In the middle of the piece, there's the SOS motif used. It really does conjure up the atmosphere of the place and what it would be like to be crashed in the Antarctic. Makes me want to watch the film. Anyway, nice little find. This is just some of the stuff, as I say. Monkey Man, the Maytals. Original on Trojan in superb condition. All of £1. I was flicking through loads of rubbish as usual, and then for some reason, it happens a lot, but you find one record and you think this must have come from a better collection than all the stuff around it. You sort of think of it, whatever happened to the rest of it. Anyway, lovely stuff. £1. And you can see how happy they are. This is happy music. Maytals. Lovely find. Here's a copy of Nina Simone, Wild as the Wind. Not my favourite of hers. I don't listen to a lot of Nina Simone, but some of the stuff I really like. This, of course, reminds me of Big Black, and we all know which album I'm talking about. I don't know if that's where they got their inspiration. Anyway, we're moving swiftly on to another day, another shop. Nina Simone, Pastel Blues. This is an original mono, US press. Hard record to find, worth a bit of money. Get that out. Worth it alone just for Strange Fruit and Cinnamon, of course, but this is one of her best. Sublime music, wonderful arrangements. Essential record, that one. Another day, different shops. PFM in a charity shop. This is a reissue, but in a charity shop. £1. There's a small collection of records, things like Marillion and a couple of Duff, Jethro Tull. I mean, for me, most of our stuff is Duff. But PFM in a chat, I'm having that. Thank you very much. And wonderful stuff. It does remind me of King Crimson in places, but not the heavy stuff, more of the ethereal, gentle stuff. It has a classical and organ slant to this. This just grows and gets better every time I hear it. Great album, and I can see why they're collected and why they're highly rated as a band. Another superb find, Burning Red Ivanhoe. This is an original. It's a Danish band, I believe, Copenhagen, 1970. A superb prog album. The first track when I played it, I was a bit like, yeah, whatever. But then it turns into a kind of cross between Mighty Baby and East of Eden. And to people in the know who like that prog, those two names will probably inspire them to check this out. Great album. £1. Rare. Another great album and hard to come by. The Outcasts. These are a Northern Ireland band. 3 brothers and a friend. And they might look kind of really heavy punk, around the same time as Undertones and these other new wave bands. But it's less so. This, people who like Squeeze, people who like the kind of poppier end of new wave, this would be right up your street. There's not really a bad song on this. The quality of playing is excellent, and the singing and the harmonies and stuff really good. It's a really good record, and it's not anything. They're not as mean in the music as they look in the picture. Believe me, it's a really good album, and I can see why it's highly sought after. This is Presenting for Country Blues, Roosevelt Holtz. This also was a pan. This is an original Blue Horizon. Wonderful condition. Blue Horizon did a series called Presenting for Country Blues with all sorts of different artists, and all of them are highly desirable and rare. So that was another nice find. Going completely away from that with a copy of Ausgang, Manipulate. Wonderful, heavy goth stuff. I mean, you can tell by the cover kind of what you're going to be getting. There's a booklet here, which it came with. Great stuff. I'd say it's a grower. When I first put it on, I thought, oh, what's going on here? And I listened to some weird stuff. But this is intense and definitely worth seeking out. Let's move on. Alien Sex Fiend, an original copy of Maximum Security. Lovely matte sleeve. The production on this is, I mean, it's awful, but that's probably what makes it. If this was produced well, I don't think it'd be anywhere near as good. But it has an intensity and a density of sound, which kind of sets it apart from a lot of other albums. Takes some getting used to, but I think it's like a lot of things. Once you listen to them more than once, you get it. Scientists, Weird Love. Never see the Scientists. I mean, one of my favourite songs is by them, called This Is My Happy Hour. A hard album to come by and to find in a charity shop. Wow. I realise there's one I've missed out here. I got a copy of Fetish, Ex-Mal Deutschland. Superb record, and I mean, just superb. The drumming on it is amazing, and it's simple and direct, and it's mixed high in the mix, and it's well worth your time to check that out if you're into 4AD music, that kind of stuff. Here's Divine Comedy, a 90s album. People in the UK especially will know this band, or artist, Neil Hannon, original. As with most 90s albums, this costs about £100 now to buy, generally. I got it in that little collection of stuff with Marillion and the other album from earlier. Promenade, hard to come by, of course, and he's always a great lyricist, incredibly witty and intelligent, and his music is likewise. This is a great album. Desert Solitaire, Steve Roach, Kevin Briney and Michael Stearns. This is played on a lot of synthesizers. Each side is nearly half an hour long. I mean, long sides. And on vinyl, I think, oh dear, when I see anything over like 24 minutes or so, I think, oh, that's too much. 23 minutes is like borderline. But this is pressed superbly. I mean, absolutely superbly. and it just plays wonderfully well. And it's a highly desirable album, and I can see why. This is instrumental, and they're played on all these different synthesizers: Oberheim OB8, DMX, Mighty Surge, Prophet VS, Roland S50, D50, you name it, it's all on here. And this, like the Morricone earlier, but more so, conjures up a sense of place and a sense of atmosphere. And this just takes you there. Sublime electronic and modern album, modern music, you know what I mean? Not, it's kind of bordering on minimal, evocative, interesting, and engaging album. Get that in. Another rare record, Flu. This is by Leo Flagg, or a pseudonym for Bruno Nicolai. People who are into library music will know who that is. This says $9.99 up here. Wasn't that, it was 50p. This sells for about £100 as well. And I can see why. It's kind of a soundtrack to a film. It's a superbly beautiful album. Absolutely beautiful music. Wonderful, wonderful soundtrack music, this. And you know, if you've got half an hour, you want to check some of these out, make sure you check this one as well. It's beautiful, unique album. Well worth having a listen to. A couple more. Love Forever Changes, Yada Yada Yada. This is an original UK stereo, not the mono. If the mono turns up, I'll buy it, but I'm not going to go hunting it out. Great album, a bit of a staining here. £3. One side plays superbly, the other side I need to clean. If I had a professional cleaner, I'd use it on this, and I think it'd be fine. It's a bit crackly, but nice find. Small Faces, this also was £3. A lady, I was actually happened to be in a charity shop one day, and a lady behind the counter said, "Oh, you collect records, I'll bring a few in." And the following week she brought in a little carrier bag, and this was amongst them. Tired looking on the back, like a lot of these. Nice condition, original. This will come off with a putty rubber, not a usual pencil eraser, but a putty rubber will bring that up nicely. But yes, great find. I'm just going to show a few singles to finish. Quite a rare EP by the Drifters, Drifting. Very rarely, if ever, see this. A very hard thing to find. Very nice indeed. Something a bit unusual. My World Fell Down by Solent. This is a cover and a one-off demo, never got to any other stage. From 1972, I believe. Oh, 73, the release date was purported to be, by a band called Solent. This is the cover version of the Sagittarius song, that wonderful psychedelic baroque classic. This also is very similar sounding. Unusual choice of cover for 1973, when glam and prog and things were in their ascendancy. Maybe that's why I didn't get any further than this. Nice thing. A nice little copy of Natty Dread Girl by Linville Thompson. Don't see this every day. These are just a few I found, all sorts. But this is a wonderful find. To find this in a charity shop, quite amazing. Take This Woman Off the Corner by James Spencer. That is a classic track. That is classic soul funk. Really good, and you know, use it for breaks, drum breaks and stuff. It's so tight and beautiful, beautiful stuff. A couple more. The Minutemen in the charity shop. Paranoid Time. On green. Just never see this kind of thing over here. Very rare. And finally, a copy of Radiohead, Paranoid Android, original on blue vinyl, with polyethylene, I believe it is. Polyethylene parts 1 and 2 on the B-side. Anyway, that was just some of the stuff. Found all sorts of different things, but it just shows what you can find if you go looking. Anyway, in my opinion, and I'm going to use that lovely overworn phrase, that was all killer and no filler.